What is up, everyone? Oh, God. What's up, everyone? Let me get this going here. It shouldn't be blurry. Hold on, let me turn my music off and... One second. Alright, there we go. Let me do one other thing here. Whoops. I do not think AMC is too late. So what I'm going to do is once we get some more people here. Yeah, it says I have an excellent connection. So, yeah, switch it to 1080p if you're having troubles. That usually fixes it. Other than that, yeah, I think AMC is literally like on wave 3 of 5. So typically, we'll chart this out. I don't even think... I'm not even positive GME is done. I think GME ends around 300 tomorrow, which would be doubling, and then I think by Friday it will end around 400. Possibly. No guarantees. Hey, what's up, Dislocate? Appreciate the shout out. Always happy to help. Well, I'm not always right. I do try to be right. You know, that's always the goal, is to try to be right. So, yeah, they're gonna try to push it to 1,000. I don't see that happening. I think the $300 to $400 range is probably the top. Now, I'm not saying that's out of the way. I'm just saying it's gonna be hard to push it to 1,000. It's going to be hard. So, just give it a few more minutes. I said people I'd be live, so... Let me ping my Discord here. Holy shit, Jonathan. Oh, appreciate it, man. Thank you. I don't do it for the tips, but I don't turn down free money either. that's what I always say. So, yeah, we're gonna chart out all of the Wall Street bets. We're gonna have some fun here. So if you got a drink and you want to enjoy yourself, you got a soda or carbonated water, whatever it is, you know, get yourself comfy. We'll do this for about half hour to an hour. I'm going to go through what's happening with these stocks, why they're going so stupidly, and then we're going to go and we're going to try to project and see if we can predict the future. Because while they say you can't predict the future, sometimes you can. So we're going to try to do that. So while you're waiting, please read what I have on the screen. If it doesn't make sense, I'm going to go through it. But I prepared this so that I could kind of explain it to all of you. I know my brother was hitting me up today, and he goes, I don't get what's going on with GameStop. Why is it going nuts? I was like, I know why it's going nuts. I was like, it's a gamma squeeze. He goes, what the hell is a gamma squeeze? So, what's up, Stock SSV? Yeah, I hope you guys love all my YouTube courses and everything. You know, I don't do those other than to help you guys learn. I don't have monetization turned on or anything like that. I just want you guys to learn so that we all can help each other make more money. Because in the long run, if you guys are educated traders, that makes you better traders, which in the long term makes me a better trader. So if you can help me find stuff, then I can help share that with everyone, and then we're all making money. And that's the way we do it. What's up, Randy? So let's get started. We got about 200 people here. That's a good starting point. Hopefully we can hit 1,000. Doubt it we will, but if you miss it, if you end up missing this will be recorded and posted after. So I'll try to keep this one a little shorter so that you can rewatch this. So this is Bull Trainer. Don't make me mute you. But so let's go over what a gamma squeeze is, because I think that's probably what most people are confused about. Is what is a gamma squeeze? So gamma is the underlying contracts that are due to be expired on Friday or something to the sort. What you really need to understand is, let's say a stock is, we're just going to use round numbers. So let's say, and thank you, Victor. Appreciate that. Good shout out for you. Let's say a stock is at 100 and it has 100,000 calls purchased at the 110 strike on Friday, but it's at 100. Well, right now the people that sell those don't care. And thank you, Deft. And let's say the stock gets to 105. You know, the people that sold those might be getting a little bit more worried. Well, let's say it gets to 110 and over 110. Well, those 100,000 calls that are out there now are in the money, and they need to be covered. And so the person that sold those underlying securities will have to purchase the shares to cover those calls, causing a gamma squeeze. Now, certain gamma squeezes are smaller than others or larger than others. So, for instance, we had a giant QQQ gamma squeeze back in the day. Right here, this was actually a gamma squeeze right here back in August. So when the stock market went nuts here, this was because SoftBank bought billions upon billions of dollars worth of calls down here, and they became in the money here. So now those underlying securities had to start covering right here, and that caused an explosion in the market that we have never really seen recently, where the stock market just went nuts and everyone was making tons of money. The problem is once everything was covered, then we crashed hard, and that might happen again here. So I do have to worry about the future, but for now, let's enjoy it and let's understand what's happening. So, what just happened? Okay, I was like, where did my stuff go? So a gamma squeeze again. You know, the thing that's happening with GameStop is all these Wall Street bettors are buying hundreds and thousands, millions of contracts. I looked it up. There's 1.1 million open contracts that expire this Friday, on top of millions of other contracts that are out there farther out. So that means that as those are in the money, they're all in the money right now. So these are all in the money, and they all need to be covered. So what happens is that's 112 million shares that need to be purchased by those underlying securities just to cover those contracts. And the thing is, those shares aren't available because people don't want to sell their shares. So that means the price keeps going up because they have to cover that. Like, they have to, because those will expire Friday in the money, and they will be exercised by the brokers. So when they're exercised, there has to be shares to cover those. Otherwise, the money has to come from somewhere. So when they're covering those shares, it's driving the price up, and because there's a lack of sellers, it goes up and up and up, and to the point where people want to sell it because they don't, they're thinking it's a silly price. So if people aren't selling shares, it just drives it up more and more, and that's what's going on with the gamma squeeze. And then on top of it, with gamma, you're getting a short squeeze happening. So this is a double squeeze happening, which is why it's going just freaking nuts. It went from what, $20 recently, and we thought it was, GameStop around 20 was crazy. Now it's at 10 times that in 2 weeks. So, and I think it's at 209 after hours, so it's like right here. So I expect it to open between 217 and 311 tomorrow. I think it might open at 311 tomorrow. Don't be surprised. And I'm going to explain this in a second, but let's talk about the short squeeze. So, just to recap, a gamma squeeze is an increase in the price of the stock based on investor buying many options to drive up the prices of select stocks, because the option sellers need to hedge their trades on the underlying stocks by buying those shares so that they remain gamma neutral. So, I'm going to go over AMC next, Danny. So, the next thing you have to understand is a short squeeze is a rapid increase in price of a stock, primarily to technical factors, so that the stock is going up. And then what happens is there's a short squeeze, so that there's tons of shares that are shorted, which a short is basically when someone sells a stock at $100 expecting it to go down. So they're actually getting that stock loaned to them. They sell it for the money, so they're getting a loan, and then they have to repay that back by buying the share back eventually, and then giving it back to the person. So because of that, as the stock goes up, they're losing money. So if they had shorted the stock at $20, every dollar this goes up, they're losing $1. So if they say they have 100,000 shares shorted at 20, they thought it was going to go down, and as it goes up, they keep losing more and more money. So then they have to get squeezed to buy it so that they don't lose even more money. So then they have to purchase stock on top of that, which drives it up even more. And because people aren't selling it, that drives the price up even more. So it's just like the perfect storm that's happening in GameStop right now. And Wall Street Bets is really pushing that. And so the combination of these two things can cause rapid explosions in the stocks that we rarely see, because it takes a very coordinated effort to do all of this. With usually it takes a huge news source to do this. So this is something unique that we haven't seen in a very long time. I think the last time I've really seen this was Tilray back in 2018. So if we go look at Tilray, you can actually see this happened in October of 18. So you can see, if you notice this, we had basically people were shorting this more and more and more, and this thing got crazy short to the point where every time it went up, people would short it more, but it never went back down. So it got to the point where we had basically a gamma squeeze starting to happen right here, and a delta squeeze happen, or a gamma and a short squeeze happen all at once. So this went from 25, $25 all the way up to $300. Let's say $300. It went from 150 in a day to 300 back down to 150, all in the same day. And this is what I expect to happen probably in GameStop, is it to go absolutely just crazy bonkers in one day, where it might go from 300 to 1,000 back to 300 in the exact same day. This happened to Volkswagen back in the day. I think it happened to Yahoo. It happens very rarely, probably once every couple years, if not longer. So what you're witnessing is pretty historic in what we're talking about. So let's get back to GameStop. So I do have a picture of this saved, so I will tweet this out. Actually, let me tell you what. I'll tweet this out right now. And so if you want this to study, I will save this and tweet it out. So just give you a second. I'll tweet that out for you so you can have that. Alright, so let's tweet it out so we don't lose it. I'll post a copy and post this in here. So there you go. What's up, Tay? Alright, so now that we understand what's happening, we need to understand what can be expected. So with 72 million shares shorted and 112 million shares need to be covered by this Friday, that's almost 200 million shares that need to be purchased. So the relative volume, let me I'm just going to go in Ace's chat and do relative volume GME. So we had an average volume of 39 million. So that and the volume today was 130 million. So that probably means we have at least one more day of GameStop squeezing. So tomorrow might be that day where it goes just insane. So I don't recommend playing it at this time, but I wouldn't be surprised if GameStop goes to 400 or 500 tomorrow. And so let's dig in deep here. I'm going to get rid of everything and we're going to start from scratch here. I lost my there we go. So we're gonna get rid of everything and we're gonna start from scratch, and we're gonna figure out where this is going. And I kind of had a feeling when this thing was taking this curve right here. So I saw this go up here and I almost got in here and I was like, nah, it's chasing. I'm gonna look for the next best thing, and we're gonna get into AMC next, and we're gonna go into BB and Best Buy, BlackBerry and Best Buy. Maybe do some Nokia too. Those will be the ones I want to cover. So what you're looking here is this thing is basically going parabolic, and it's going to get worse. And tomorrow might be that day that it gets worse. I'm not quite sure yet. So what you're looking at a parabolic movement. Let me see if I can find the chart of it. Hold on, parabolic arc pattern. Alright, I'm going to pull this over here. Can we see this? Let's switch over. Let me see here. So let me see if this switches over here first. Oh, hold on. I didn't. There we go. That should work now. So when you're in a parabolic curve, you usually have 4 bases and then a final sell point. So hopefully you've seen this image before. And so study this image. It's not always textbook by this, but basically we're right here. We're in base 3. So this stock is gonna double and then maybe one more. So if we're at 200 right now, that means it could go to 400 and then possibly 560. So I don't really include all of these. So basically, if you're in a 5-step arc, you basically have 1, 2, this would be 3, And then tomorrow, so you have 1, 2, 3. If you're looking at your curve, that means we got base point 4 and then 5. So that means tomorrow we could have 4 here, and then your last sell point would be up here. Now, how do you project these? Well, we use Elliott wave theory and Fibonacci extensions. So if we see these moves right here, that means we can project it using a couple different things. First, let's see about our fan here, or our spirals, or not spirals, our circles. So that means this could be right here tomorrow around 229. So that might be where we open. So let's see if we can do a projection off of this. So that would put us at possibly 236 open tomorrow, with a retracement down to maybe 200, and then our next move would put us at possibly 359 as our final move. So then this would be 4, and then this could be potentially 5. So you might see this hit 350. And it could go higher, but I would say 350 might be where we land tomorrow, just based on parabolic movement. So I'm not saying it goes that fast possibly either, but it might actually, I would imagine it would take a little longer than that, but other tool we can use is our fan here, which would put us right there, and then possibly, well, we're going to open up probably above this fan. I mean, we might open up above this mark right here. So this would then serve as support, this line right here, this gray line. So let's see if it follows this channel up here. This would be our parabolic channel up here. So I'll put this in my Discord if you want it. We could put it in there for everyone. I'll put it in my charts channel. Now, like I said, like, I'm doing this for fun so that people understand, but this is definitely one of those moments where you have to be careful, because this isn't a guaranteed thing. Nothing is ever guaranteed in short and gamma squeezes, because if the shorts win and we don't have the underlying power, they may drive it back down where the gamma squeeze would stop. But the important thing is to watch the support levels. If they hold and we get those support levels, then this thing is going to continue to squeeze. So let's focus and look on a couple of other ones. I am in AMC currently. This is something that I called out last Friday as well as Monday. If you're in my Discord, you should have 7 calls for an average of 40 to 50 cents a piece, and you are going to be feasting tomorrow. So I had originally predicted, using my Elliott wave theory the other day, that we were going to close at around $6, and it looks like we closed up in this range. So anytime it goes higher than I project, I'm always happier with that. I try to project conservatively, so that if it goes less, that's fine, or if it goes more, that's fine. But I would imagine we're going to open somewhere. It's a big range, I know, but it'll probably open somewhere in this range up here. So we have our extension here. Looks like we have wave 1 here of our new wave. So our after hours wave, we probably, the fact that it closed at the high of the day is so bullish, and the fact that we had 136 million shares traded after hours, like, think about that. There was 136 million shares after hours. 136 million. Do you know what the average volume on AMC is, or on AMC is? The average volume on AMC is 84 million. So there was more shares traded after hours than there normally is traded during an entire day. Almost double. There was 300 million shares traded during the day, and there was half a billion shares traded of AMC today. If you don't think this is going higher, you're crazy. This thing is going way higher. This is just the beginning. And people are clowning me and everything for saying it, but I know things they don't know. And so, knowing about Gamma Squeeze, and let me show you something. Look in Danny's Discord and main chat right now on Ace Ventures if you're in it. I'm typing in the main chat. I just showed you the relative volume. I'm going to show you the open interest now. So when I talked about Gamma Squeeze, if you're looking at that, there is 800,000 contracts that are due for this Friday. That is 800 million shares? No. Why am I drawing a blank in my head now? So 800,000 contracts times 100 shares. Yeah, it's 800 million shares that need to be bought for this still. So this is just the beginning of this as well. I really think tomorrow might be one of the craziest days we've seen. So I'm getting excited because my shares are very happy, and I know a lot of people are very happy as well. So I think a lot of people are in AMC as well. So let's project this out. So if you're using wave theory, you could see this potentially could open between $9 and $10, with a high range being in the $12 range. So I would say let's put our projection. Let's temper it a little bit because we might get some short sellers in the morning. But let's say it opens in this box right here, with a high range being in the $12 range. I mean, it's already up, what, $3? It's almost up 100% after hours. Like, let's temper our expectations a little bit, and if it blows past our expectations, perfect. So I don't ever really chart with after hours on. What I like to chart with is, so let's say this thing is going parabolic too. So we have a base movement there. We got a base movement there. Base movement here. So we got 1, 2, 3. That means we still have 2 more moves left. So we got 1, 2, 3. We should get a 4 here. So this would be our doubling. And then potentially, or and then let's do 5 up here. So let's say we do open at the 168 extension. Let's just say it goes here, and this is maybe where we close tomorrow. So let's say this is our big move right here. We get that squeeze. That means potentially our last move would take us from 1250 this week to potentially anywhere from $18 up to a high range of $35. So, unfortunately, it's not a very precise science. I'm not going to tell you. I mean, between 18 and 35 is a very large range. Alright, I'm reading some of the comments here. Yeah, we're going to look at Best Buy, Sergio, for sure. I'm going to try to get through all of the Wall Street Bets ones. That's the purpose of this, so just keep that in mind. So yeah, I mean, I think 35 is doable. I think the 12 to 18 range is probably more sensible. So let's not go crazy on this. The problem with AMC compared to GME is AMC has a ton more shares available, so their market cap on that exploding will not be like it is with GME. So GME has a lot lower float, well, which is shares available, than AMC has a lot more shares available. So just keep that in mind, that the squeeze on AMC is not going to be like it is on GME. Well, percentage-wise, it might be, because you're going from 20 to 400. You know, going from 4 to 20 is sort of similar. So if you want to see, how many shares are shorted, I like this site. It's called shortsqueeze.com. This is where I got the short interest for GME at 71 million. We can look at AMC. In AMC, you can see here, they're not as shorted anymore, so only 39 million shares. So really the thing that's going to drive AMC is, while the short squeeze is going to help, it's not going to be as big as GME. So the big thing that is driving this is the gamma squeeze. So the gamma squeeze is what is really driving this right now. But the short squeeze will help a little bit, but the short squeeze will probably be done. So that's probably what was happening after hours. Is this is going to get squeezed tomorrow, and then I would say 12 to 18 is probably going to be more realistic as I research it more. For me, I'll probably be taking a little profit in here. Trying to drive it to 30 will be a little more tough. So let's move on. I think BlackBerry is the next one we need to look at, and then we'll look at Best Buy. I did have BlackBerry charted out here. I did this the other day. I think I did this Sunday or Monday. Looks like I did it when it was potentially right here. So I do have this going to 26, and it's still in this channel after hours. So it is kind of making a head and shoulders here, so we need to be aware of this, that if it can't get over 21, might not have been a winning fight for this. So I'm not as bullish on this as other people are, but if we're checking the short squeeze on it, we do have 40 billion shares. Not a huge percentage of the float, so nothing crazy there. Let's check the open interest on BB. You do have 500,000 contracts due this Friday, so what's happening on most of these stocks is definitely a gamma squeeze. So I would not hold these past this week. They will probably squeeze this week, but I think they come crashing down at the end of the week, and that actually lines up with my SPY chart. So we'll see how that goes. But if this does make one more move, that would put us at I think this could go somewhere between 26 and 32. So this would probably be our target range for the week. Possibly 38 if it goes nuts. but I think this is more realistic in this 26 to 32 range. Alright, then let's go look at Bed Bath & Beyond. This looks pretty similar to Gamestop. You know, this might didn't it already start pushing after? Holy Nikes. So wait, it's right here right now. Oh wow, this thing's up 5, 6, and it's flagging too. Yeah, this is gonna be nice. I mean, Wall Street Bets is gonna feast this week. Ooh, let's do Fubu too. Yeah, Fubu is getting squeezed as well. Fubu has a large short interest. So what you're looking at on this is probably 55 to 61 if this continues squeezing. Possibly up to 71. What you're really going to want to see is this continue to make high volume increases. The volume has to support the move. If you start seeing volume die down, so one thing that will cue you in that the move is almost done. So you can see here that the fact that the volume here outweighs the previous move means this is still going. Now this had the highest volume because this is, you know, where people were getting greedy and then got shorted down, but now this is getting squeezed again and the volume is increasing. So the average volume is increasing, which is good. So that means we probably are going to continue tomorrow. No guarantees. There's never guarantees in the market, but that probably means we're going to continue tomorrow. And so this thing will probably open in this range, and then it may do a flat through the day, but it might squeeze again after hours tomorrow. So what happens during the day is the squeezes usually happen after hours because there's lower volume, so you get higher price action. So we'll see what happens. So let's look at Fubu. I can't remember if I have this chart. Ooh! I did have it charted, and it hit my price target too. Alright. I couldn't remember when I charted. I think I charted this earlier. So I had Fubu going up here to 63. So definitely retesting this, you know, up this path right here. We do have volume supporting it. I haven't checked. I think the short interest on Fubu is rather high, if I remember. I guess it's not. Guess it's not available. That sucks. So Ahmad Al-Dajani, you're a troll. I'm gonna mute you. But so what I'm looking at here is, what is this at after hours? Okay, so this was here at resistance at 43, and it's flagging right here. God, these are all going to be ridiculous tomorrow. This could slice through this whole resistance and open at 52 tomorrow. This one's going to be tough to chase if you're not into it. For me, it's probably going to 52 tomorrow, and then by the end of the week, it might test 62. So I know everyone in my Discord has known about this one for a few weeks now, and so especially the newsletter subscribers, we had talked about this in our premium newsletter. So this one was by far a huge winner. So that's exciting to see. I don't really need to chart this one out. I already got it charted out. This is probably going to 62 within the next couple weeks. Nah, Ahmad is just trolling. So, all right. Those are the ones that I wanted to cover. Were there some that I missed that Wall Street Bets has been pumping that I should cover? Oh, knock. Yes, sorry. I was going to do knock. Thank you, Jason. And space. Yes, space is another one. So I had charted this out and I tweeted this out over the weekend that I had seen a inverse head and shoulders here inside this downtrend path. And what we had here is a breakaway gap. Clean breakaway gap. But the problem is it hit resistance up here and got rejected really hard. So let's see. Where's it at after hours? Is this moving after hours? Not really. So I don't think. I mean, you got a lot of volume on this today, but I mean, Nokia for me doesn't get my juices boiling like AMC. People love movies and things like that. So the memification of AMC and GameStop is much more squeezable than Nokia. So this is probably one, if you didn't play this move right here, I probably wouldn't have. This is probably one I would not chase. Of all of them, I would not chase this one. Yeah, if it breaks over 5, maybe 515, they might chase it, but I mean, this won't squeeze like the other ones. Max you'd probably see on this is maybe $6, so this won't have the effects of the other one, in my opinion. Maybe it gets up to the $7 range, but this is one that I'll probably avoid. I appreciate the likes, everyone. All the subscribers, appreciate it. Thank you, everyone, for joining. This is a nice group we got going on tonight. I'll take some requests here. I always like doing requests, so we do some live charting here. What time is it? I've been going for about 40 minutes. Yeah, I got some time. Ooh, EXPR. I heard. I've been hearing this ticker more and more. I actually don't know anything about it, if I'm going to be completely honest. There's a million tickers I try to keep up with. Alright, let's... I knew this could happen. Alright, so we're going to do EXPR. Wow, look at that candle. So this started filling the gap here. So it's either going to have... I'm worried a little bit about it coming down, but if it doesn't, this should act as support at 283. If it doesn't, you know, this could be a... this looks like the start of an impulse move, so you could see potentially something like that. Let's see what kind of retracement we have here. Okay, so you do have a 50% retracement, which is typical on a leg one. And so this would probably, you know, if we're starting out with a small one here, you're gonna have that. So there's two ways to do extensions here. So one way is to do a 618 extension here. Oops, I didn't actually click it. So one way is to do a 618 extension and another 618. So this is about a 40% probability. This doesn't always happen. All of these levels are probability levels, so when you're looking at Fibonacci extensions, it's not like a foolproof thing. You have to understand it's more of a price action thing. Like when I do Elliott waves, it's like to understand price action and to understand price targets is more of a probability thing. So using a 618 to 786 probability, this zone right here has a 40% probability, which is the highest probability. And then you have like a 15% and 10% below, and a 15% and 10% above. So you kind of have, you know, in the middle here is your highest probability here. Hold on, I have to sneeze. Woo, scoozies. So, excuse me. So, again, like, this could, in theory, go all the way up to here as well, and then that would make our next move, maybe like this. So, that is certainly possible. If this gets squeezed, and a lot of people are talking about it, you could have a squeeze here, and then this actually turns into a flat, and then you get this double flat going on, and then another leg up. Or you might get just a weak move here. The other nice thing to know about Elliott wave theory is the last leg, a lot of times, will also mirror the first leg. So you might only get, something like that. So that's something to consider. So, I mean, $3 to $10, I think anybody would take, though. So, alright, I'm going to scroll up here and try to catch up on some of these tickers. Just give me a second. Holy cow, you guys put a lot of them in there. Alright, alright, I'm going to show you guys my Tesla chart. I've had this for a long time. I tweeted this out a very long time ago. I've never changed it, never touched it. I still have, my timing on it. I thought it would go into earnings a little more, but it's actually done a little bit more. So I had this right. I just didn't have the timing right. So, and again, with Elliott waves, it's not necessarily about the timing. It's about the price action. So I imagine this will probably, tomorrow, I think they report after hours, if I'm correct. So you'll probably see this do pretty good tomorrow, I imagine. I can't imagine people wouldn't be bullish on it. 900 seems to be a pretty hard resistance. So we'll see if we can get over that. This isn't a wonderful candle to end the day, if I'm being honest with you. This actually looks like an evening star. So we might actually have a little bit of sell-off, and we might actually go into earnings around 862. Evening star is when you get a doji followed by a bearish candle. So this is not a wonderful sign, but we'll see what happens. It's not a foolproof thing. So I have here where I think the levels will be on a miss. I think it'll go down to 700 just based on support. And on a beat here, based on Elliott wave projections, I think 1,000 to 1030 will be the play. And then I think it will continue to run after that up to about 1,200. Excuse me. Probably doing a squeeze. And then after that will probably be... It doesn't have to go up after this, but if they beat... the thing that drives Tesla is just literally... It's like a repeat cycle of failed squeezes or failed shorts. So it just keeps getting squeezed and squeezed. Like, there's no way in the world Tesla is $1 trillion company. Like, they don't even do... What do they do? About half a billion in sales a year? That barely justifies being $100 billion company. So keep that in mind. That we are walking in uncharted lands with Tesla. But enjoy it while you can, is the saying. So just keep that in mind. Space, I'm interested in doing. I like to do these ones that have high short interest. So Arky had a question here. How are they shorting more shares than float on GameStop? So those are called naked shorts. So they can actually, a brokerage will give them credit for it even though they don't have shares alone. So that actually causes more explosiveness to the short squeeze. That is actually why for a certain amount of time Volkswagen was the biggest company in the world, is because it had, I think it was like 150% of float was shorted. So they actually shorted shares that weren't available. And brokerages will let you do that because brokerages are betting on the fact that they won't get squeezed. So then a lot of people are missing out on it. So let's do space. I think I have this done. Alright, so this blew past my expectations as well. So these numbers probably don't mean much to you. They mean much to me, but don't worry about it. So this ended up being probably what, a 1618 extension. So you do have a bearish tweezers here at the end of the day, the last 4 hours, which isn't great. But let's see what we got going on here. So it's looking to me like I had this wrong. So let me redo this. So I think this is level 1. And then this will be 2. Oh my. I like space. Space, space, space. I could see space hitting 50. Where's it at after hours? Oh, it actually isn't doing much after hours. That's surprising. So this hit the full extension. So this might not actually have a huge run. This might actually go to 50. This would probably... I'd imagine this thing doesn't do much tomorrow. I could be completely wrong, but this might do... This could do 50. I think this could do 50. I mean, this has a... What? Cup and handle too, so... we... Oh, wow. Alright, so that hit the circle perfect, so that means it'll probably ride this down and then possibly bounce again. So maybe like 48-ish on space would be a good target. And we could do a... So 47. Now, it might not... It might only go down to here, and we might actually hit right here. That would probably be the most bullish, so... That would put us at 50. I'm going to put this in my charts room. Alright, let's do a couple more here. Alright, I've been getting just a fuck ton of requests for Apple, so let's do Apple. Apple hit my price target. Wow. So I had a super target here of 164 to 174. And basically what I have here is an impulse move. You have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this is your 5 right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is a double top 5, but this would actually be, this would be your price target up here. So don't be surprised if Apple hits 165 to 173. My price target going into ER was 140 to 144. So it is hitting that. And I mean, it hasn't really slowed down here, so this could be the start of a new impulse right here. I mean, you kind of got a 1, 2. I mean, I wouldn't even know if you count these as waves. This looks like it's gonna do this. Actually, hold on, let me show you. So you're probably gonna have a 1, a gap up, and then a consolidations, and then that would be that. So what you're looking at here is this is called a power earnings gap. So this is going to be a gap, and then you're going to have a consolidation. So you're basically going to have a consolidation right here, and then you'll have your final leg up. So this should be a gap right here after earnings. Remember, this only works if they crush earnings. So these types of moves. This is what Netflix does. So what you then would have inside here is basically this move up, and then a move down, and then a retest, and this thing's going to do this. And so basically going to have a consolidation down in here. You know, and it might actually flag, so it might actually do this, where it's a constricting flag. And each one of these legs will probably have minor moves in it. But you're going to get a giant move, and then if you get a power earnings up, like if this spikes, short it on open, and then it'll probably go down probably 30% of the move, 25 to 30% of the move, and then you can cover your short. So I think Microsoft did this after hours. So Microsoft basically did the exact same thing. So you had a 1, 2, and then you had, where is it at? So you're probably gonna, let me see if I'm right. Let's do this. So it got to right here. And looks like it's at 1, so it got all the way up to 247. I imagine it'll probably open up here, so even though it's after hours, I bet you it'll open up even higher here. And then that means it'll probably, so it might get up to 248 tomorrow, and then we'll short it down to about 242 in a consolidation move, and then it'll have one final leg up to 260. So you're going to have a gap here like this. So we can actually probably project this using Elliott wave theory, where it's going to go. So that would be 248. It should open up between 248 and 244, and then we probably will see it come down to about in this range, 239. So my support range is going to be in here, and then my final target will be probably around 260. And that might take a couple weeks to get there, but now these are high risk moves, probably for the pros. So if you don't know what you're doing, go put your money into AMC instead. Alright, I'll do one more. I want to do this for about an hour. So I'll do one more. I'm just going to scroll through the tickers and see what's mentioned the most. Don't chase GME. even though I said it's going to 4 or 500, you can lose a lot of money really fast on it. And I would hate to be the person that told you to buy it and then it doesn't do what I predicted. So if this helped you guys and you learned something, throw me a like. That's all I ask. Helps me get more views. So those algorithms. I've been seeing a lot of requests for IDEX. Let me maybe we'll do IDEX to round her out. If there's something I missed, AESE. What is AESE? Yeah, I did Tesla. Whatever your name is, Srinvinus. I did Tesla, so I'm not gonna do it again. That is a lot of volume. I'm not gonna lie. Is this up after hours? Not really. Why are you guys having me chart pennies? Hey, what's up, Tintin? Sorry, I'm not super awesome with names. Is it Serenivis? Actually, Serenivis. That's kind of a cool name. Okay, so we kind of had a leg 1 here. So imagine this will probably consolidate tomorrow. This will probably be flat tomorrow if it follows the rules. And then you'll get a final move up to 3. So maybe to $3. Titties. Yeah, I think $3 would be reasonable if it follows. Infinite power, I don't know. I use a lot of tools, and so because you're delayed, I don't know which one you're referring to. I'm really sorry. Alright, bonus. We'll do Clove. Let's do IDEX and Clove. We'll do a couple bonus ones here. I didn't want to go this long, but that is okay. Give the people what they want. Ooh, this looks nice. I think I trashed this stock really hard when it was right here. And I was sort of right, but now it's got like staying power, so... Um, so we always start with our levels, and then we go into our Elliott waves. Not really doing much after hours, so we don't need to worry about that. It'll probably retest here, I imagine. Looks like this was the cup right here. And so now it might make the handle. Alright, Marlin, let's cool it. Alright, you're going in timeout. That's enough thumbs up. Boom, gone. Alright, so this looks like a complete move here, and then this would be the start of the next move, potentially. So ideally what you're going to see here is probably a retrace down to 3.6, and then it's going to probably retry between, if it does punch through, it might get to 5, and then it should retest all-time highs right here, or recent highs, not all-time highs. And then you might get a one final explosion up. So the important thing is not to use this tool for all 3 waves. You need to go back and recheck your work, so because it's usually a little bit higher. So your final move might get you around 6. Maybe it goes to 5.5, 6. The tool that I just used, it's called the fib-based or trend-based fib extension. So if you go into here, this is the trend-based fib extension. So this is Ideonomics. It's a very requested one. I don't play it, but I know it's got lots of interests. I have done Space and Fubu, Daniel. This is TradingView. I feel like I was gonna do one more. Did Clove, did IDEX. Actually, let me see my Amazon. You want to see something crazy? Would you believe that you could have predicted this breakout by going back and charting this? So I had all of this charted, and this has been on my Twitter for a very long time. I said it's going to follow this loop down, and I said when it gets over this line on this loop down, and I even have an arrow on here, and I have not touched this one bit since I tweeted this out. So when did I tweet this out? Profile. That's beyond. I told you this was gonna happen. Like I even got the Space Ultimate chart right here. Netflix, AQB, Amazon Super Cycle on January 10th, so 2 weeks ago. I told you this was going to hit right here and then go up. And would you believe it? It did exactly what I said it was going to do. 2 weeks ago I said that was going to happen. So, this thing's probably going to go to 3,500 after earnings. I imagine it'll go from probably, this thing it's flagging right now. So, I mean, you have some It did bounce off old resistance, so this is a good sign. So I think we're gonna see 35, 3600 easily after earnings. This is 3561. So that would retest all-time highs. So all-time highs are 3553 or whatever that is. So my course is free on YouTube, so just go to my YouTube page. I have multiple courses. I have a technical analysis course, and then I have an Elliott wave course. So if you want to learn how I do all of this, both of those are free, 100% free, all of it. So they're all 5-minute video episodes, so they're easy to digest. They're all in order, so you can follow them. Go have fun and learn how to chart and all of that. So I have the highest paid version of TradingView because I use it for business and I need the alerts. What you need to know is what are you gonna if you're gonna pay for a paid version. What are you going to use those paid versions for? So do you want more indicators? Do you want more alerts? Do you want to be able to compare charts? So do you want to be able to say, okay, how does Amazon done to Tesla? Amazon has gotten crushed by Tesla, as most have. So that's what you need to understand. Most people don't even need the paid version, but if there's certain things you want, look at what they offer and then go from there. So I'm not going to recommend you do one thing or another. If you want to buy something, then you should buy it. If you don't want to buy it, then that's up to you. Oh, by the way, our website is up now, thefinancial.cloud. We just have it so you could go check at it. If you wanted to see what my business looks like, this is kind of what we're going for. We just launched this the other day, so let me see if this is working now. Ooh, Catalyst Calendar. So we do have our Catalyst Calendar on our website. So we automate this with all of the earnings, all of the everything that we can automate. We put into here: earnings, economic events, dividends, PDUFA stuff. All of this we put into our economic calendar. So. That's cool. I wasn't able to show this on the live the other day. For some reason it wasn't working, but now I got it working. So that's going to do it for me. I'm a little burned out, so I appreciate everyone joining me. I hope you learned something. I hope this was informative. I did tweet out some cool stuff, so go check out my Twitter if you want those you want those things. And yeah, launch us back and let's merge and let's take Financial Cloud public. So I'll probably hang out in the Discord after. So if you want to chat with me and ask me questions, we can definitely still hang out there. And I hope you guys all have a wonderful night. And let's if there's 7 people that haven't liked this, throw me 7 likes so we can break 200, just to push it over the top. But let's make some money tomorrow. Hopefully you guys make a bunch of money, and that's the plan, right? Oh, thank you, Diana, or Deanna. Appreciate that. Appreciate the likes, everyone. Thank you. Really appreciate it. All right, everyone have a wonderful night, and I'm looking forward to Hump Day, as I hope all of you are looking forward to Hump Day as well.